Hello, and welcome to Module 3, Building a Viable Organization Within Capitalism. We built this model to support your team to build a sustainable cooperative that can thrive within the current system. And the exercises are designed to move the co-op along the path of achieving your goals in line with your values. And we aim to kind of demystify what it takes to make a cooperative work ingredient by ingredient so that you can cook up something beautiful together as a group. So this module has 4 parts, like 4 pieces of a puzzle coming together. We start with purpose and values because the why of why you're coming together and how you move in the world are really the foundation for any organization, and everything else builds out off of that why. We then move to people power, and in this section, we talk about the gifts that you're sharing with each other as you build this cooperative together, and what assets you have as a team right now, and then what needs you have to fill out your capacity as a group. What other skills do you need to bring onto the team? What other resources do you need to bring onto the team? And thirdly, we do some learning. And this is there's a little bit of reading involved here. So we do some learning on how money moves in our current economic system, and what the different revenue streams are that are available to cooperatives in any organization that's getting started in our economy, and help you figure out which of those by providing tips, challenges, and how it works to access those different funding streams. We try to help you narrow which ones make the most sense for you. Like, will you be seeking out money from philanthropy versus are you going to try to have a market-based business? What are the ways that you can do that, and trying to figure out, okay, where are we? Which one's our main hustle? Which one is a side hustle for us? And then we go into encouraging you to do some financial planning. So we kind of provide a checklist of like, okay, now we have a purpose, we have a why, we have a how we're going to move in the world. We know where we might be wanting to get our revenue. So let's really refine our business model down. What are the services that we're going to be offering to whom? We encourage you to do business model canvas to put together some different financial statements that we lay out. And so kind of just a checklist of the financial planning and some resources for folks to support you on your way as you do that. And then lastly, we go into capital access, which is distinct from revenue, and that revenue is the ongoing money that comes in and out, and capital is that one-time infusion to get you started or to get you growing. And so we don't walk you through how to get all of the funding, but we do kind of lay out what another checklist of like, what do you need to do to access different forms of capital depending on what you're trying to do. So you can think about, all right, these are the things we need to put together to get us where we want to go in terms of the resources to get us started. So that's a little overview of module 3, and it's designed for the co-op development team during the pre-launch phase. I mean, maybe you've sold a couple things, or maybe you've gotten a grant already or something like that. That's great, but it's during this, before you fully launched. And of course, during this development stage, we always recommend having worker owners as part of the development team, and for them to have the primary decision-making power during these foundational exercises. And just one thing that I want to share too is that finding a viable business model within our current system is so hard, especially one that like aligns with your values as an organization. This work is really, really hard. So don't despair if it takes a while to figure out, if you have to go through multiple iterations, or even if that your original vision as a group doesn't work and that you have to rethink it. And maybe, but what you do is you just go back to that why. You go back to those values and that how, you hold those tight and you find a new path. So good luck going through this module, and thanks for joining us.